Hello friends, followers and channel members. Oh, happy Friday. So we've got a great flight for you tonight. We're in Corfu and we are heading to Italy, heading to Rome tonight. So I hope you can stick with us throughout and we'll give you a nice flight. Flight time was about 1.5 hours. So not too long, but certainly long enough for us to have a good chat during the flight. And yeah, I think this may even be one of the last times we get to fly our beautiful Easter livery. As you can see, the bright orange livery that we have. I'm also flying the very latest experimental version from FlyByWire, so the livery has been converted. Just to let you know, actually, they're well on with creating the livery converter as well. So I tested that out a little bit earlier on. For those of you that know, I am a QA tester for Fly-by-Wire, and yeah, as you can see, it works great. So yeah, so good evening, Oki, Dark, Ferren, Juby. Great to see you all. Danny says so many streams today. It's because we're all bored. What else is there to do? As is probably one of the later ones actually. So certainly join us when if you're watching another one. Make sure you come back and join us because we'll probably still be here in 2 or 3 hours' time, depending on how this setup goes. So yeah, we're in Corfu. Let's look at getting set up. I haven't actually set anything up for this, so I'm going to be doing everything on the fly with you guys as well. I think some of you are actually flying with me tonight, so that's great. Look forward to seeing you then. We are on VATSIM. I'm just double checking actually. Yeah, we are on VATSIM. And we may have some air traffic control as well. Looking at that, I believe Athens radar is online. I believe Athens radar controls us here in Corfu. We can make a quick call and find out if not. Right, so yeah, I am just continuing to set a couple of things up. Good evening, Nick. Great to see you popping in. Are you flying with us as well this evening, Nick? I didn't catch you on Discord, but we'll find out. Right, I also want to know, guys, so you guys get to pick because you're here first of all. Obviously, I'm on real time at the moment, just as the simulator has been set up. Do you want us to fly real time? So obviously a nighttime stream, or would you prefer a daytime stream? Just type in the chat now for me, AM or PM. Let's take a quick vote whilst I'm hopping into the flight deck. So vote for me, AM or PM. And I can obviously flip the clock forward 12 hours or back 12 hours and give us a daytime stream. Or we can leave it as it is and we'll do a nice evening stream. So I just want an AM or PM in the chat from you all. Let me know what you'd prefer. 5 miles high says thanks a lot for the tutorials, they're very helpful. No problem at all. 5 miles, hope they're useful for you. So Dark saying real time, Jeddy's thought PM as well, so real time getting the likes at the moment. Oh, we got 1 AM. Wyatt goes for AM, Ferran's PM as well. I don't actually mind doing nighttime streams and nighttime flights in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 just because it still looks absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The graphics even at nighttime. Good evening, Christian. Good to see you as well. Looks like nighttime's won then, so we'll stay on real time. Real time it is. So I think that was rather unanimous, wasn't it? Let's get the fly pad on. As you can tell, that's how quickly and recent this aircraft is. I've not even changed the the fly-by-wire coffee cup to my own, so we'll leave that as is. So I want to just update everything here. Easyjetsimpilot on there. And then I should be able to pull through the information from SimBrief. There is. So winds at the moment. Oh, look at that. According to this, the winds are non-existent. Ceiling visibility is okay. 10 degrees, 1026. So that's fantastic. And what have we got when what can we expect in Rome? Our 130 at 5. Ceiling visibility fine. QNH the same, 1026. Excellent. Christian, 1 hour before dawn is your favourite. Yeah, I can understand why. Really can. So that's fine. Let's, as I say, I've not set anything up for this, so I'm actually scribbling notes down as we go. First thing I want to do is that QNH 26. So that's fine. One of the things I will have to do as well, because this is new and just updated, is we're going to calibrate these. So just go for the idle, set there, and set that. I need to set the, oh, did I press apply? There we go. And set our climb thrust to there and there, and apply. Flex gate, whether we'll need that or not remains to be seen this evening. Let's set that and that, apply, and let's go for the toga, which is set there and there, apply. So let's just make sure we are within those gates correctly. That looks good. That looks like it's working as well. So thank you, Nick, for liking the stream on Facebook. Great stuff. We are of course on Facebook now. I keep saying this, we're brand new, so for those of you that like Facebook, here we are. Alright, so now that those have been set up, we've got all our ATIS information. Now, one of the things that I also need to do is give you the operational flight plan, and the first thing you guys are going to get from this, when I copy this through into the chat, copying that through on the YouTube chat, is, there you go. So the operational flight plan you'll see on there. In fact, I can probably show you on here as well now. If I go to the dispatch page, operational flight plan, there we go, that's getting pulled in. So you can see that it's telling us to go for a departure on runway 34. Well, runway 34 is a bit of a pain. You are limited maximum takeoff weight on runway 34. Going the opposite direction, however, runway 16, it's a much nicer departure, better for weight, and you've also less chance of hitting a mountain. So we will probably look to change this. So we'll fire Navigraph up in a bit and have a look at that. So you can see we've got the Tigra 2 Victor departure planned, but we can choose another one to get us to Tigra, as I say, avoiding the terrain around Corfu. And because if we are doing a nighttime stream as well, it becomes a little bit more difficult to see that terrain. So from a safety point of view, I'm much happier taking runway 16, which is the opposite way we came into land here the other day. So yes, right, well, now we've got that all sorted, let's get some external ground power and have a look at that. So that should start to come along. Oh, I believe that's Nick. Is that Nick in the British Airways? External ground power unit is coming. Let's get those batteries turned on, shall we? So there's the batteries. Bit of dome lighting as well. Okay, have you already contacted ATC? Have they given you the Tigra 2 Fox runway 34? Oh, that's interesting. In real life, I believe they're a little bit more accommodating, and if the winds are light, which they are of course tonight, then you can request runway 16. If ATC's stipulating runway 34, then that's what we're going to have to go with this evening. So nav lights, get those all turned on. Let's have a look at our fuel then. Christian, I could go for runway 34 and just test the expedite button. There's a button I've never pressed. So back to our dispatch then. So the weather's looking good. I don't really need to worry about any extra fuel. It's a potential hold, but we'll see. So plan block fuel is around 5.4 tons. So let's get that started loading in, shall we? 5.4 tons. Just use the slider. 5.5, 5.5 tons. That's good enough. And we'll pop that on real time. Estimated time for defueling is 5 minutes, so we're taking 5.5 tons. There we go. Oh, Nick, you're at the house at the moment. Oh, it's not you sat next to me then. Fair enough. So, okay, you've already contacted ATC. I'm presuming it is Athens Centre that are sorting that, so that's good. Right, that's on its way. External power is available as well, so let's get external power connected and our screen start to light up. Oh, wonderful. I'm just going to wait and see if we get the 3 clicks. I don't know if they've brought those back in yet. I want to wait to see if we get the 3 clicks, and if so, that's when we'll do the fire test, not before. Are all these EFB features in the dev version? Yes, they are. So everything you're seeing now is available in the dev version. Remember, the experimental version, which is the version that I'm flying right now, is the exact same as the dev version, just with a custom autopilot built in. I don't think I'm going to get those clicks. However, whilst I'm waiting for that, let's just come through and turn up the standby. What was that, QNH 1026? Let's wind that up. 1026. Anti-skid is on. Just come down to the pedestal. We'll start to set this up, make sure all the levers and knobs, etc. are all in the right place. That one wasn't. VHF 2, that's 121.5. Yeah, the expedite button's kind of like fighter pilot mode, isn't it? We've no need to touch that. And the frequency we're going to want to contact Athens is 129.675. 129.67. So pop that in. 129.675. There we go. 5 miles, yeah, I'd say the experimental fly is better. Certainly nicer for handling as well. And the flight directors seem to be a lot more accurate too, so which is really nice. MadSip, I've been testing the installer today that is coming, which includes the livery conversion tool, which is why I'm happy that I'm now flying the beautiful looking orange Easter aircraft livery. One of the things I haven't done though, as I forgot to do this, I haven't actually set up the custom views for this aircraft, so sadly they don't work just yet. I will do. It's just a matter of copying the aircraft camera CFG file across. It's quite simple. I just forgot to do that before setting up the flight this evening, but never mind. It's okay. Right. So, Tube ATC just cleared you for runway 16. That's fine. I prefer runway 16. That's good. Strangely enough, Christian, I did have to update the simulator before I started this, and it was that little update that me and you were suffering from the other day, and I thought, oh no, but thankfully it was just a quick 2-minute thing, so that worked quite nicely. Simon, good evening, great to see you. Glad to have you on board. Right, I'm not going to get the clicks, am I? So let's get the fire engine tests done. There's engine 1, engine 2, and of course the APU. So there we go. Happy with that. So let's come across to the glare shield. Let's just turn that up. I've no idea what altitude we need just yet, as we've not been given it, but we'll set the QNH 1026 and flight directors 1 and 2 both turned on. Instrument panel, turn up the brightness of these. Doesn't need to be all the way up as it is night time. I'm going to turn off the first officer's displays. Those are not required. Let's get the eCams turned up as well. Oops, we've just hit the ADIAS switching bug. No, we don't want to do that. There we go. And IRS alignment is in 3 minutes. So let's just come down here and hit our ATSU menu. Clear the GPS primary lost. AOC, init press, and let's pull that information in from SimBrief. There we go. Corfu to Rome. 1 hour 21 minutes our flight time. Estimated fuel on board, oh no, that is fuel, actual fuel on board, and you can see that's decreasing to about 5.5 tons. So so that's okay. Boss Monkey 84, you got a 60 megabyte update today. Yes, so did I. So did I, strangely enough. But I could have sworn that was one of the old ones that for some reason my sim just decided to do again. Jazz Maxwell 77, good evening, sir. Great to see you. I'm glad to have you on board. Right, okay, so let's have a look at our passenger manifest for today. Performance, weights and balance. So we're expecting 17784. Let's just come across here and check this out. This is where those custom views come in really handy. I'm annoyed I didn't get those set up before starting this, but never mind. 17784, there we go. Zero fuel weight of 58.8. 58.8, that's all correct. Aircraft's zero fuel weight centre of gravity is 26.9. Let's pop that in. 171 passengers, and we can pop that payload in, and that's giving us a takeoff, well, current weight rather, of 64.2 tons. What are we expecting today for our takeoff weight? Takeoff weight about 64 tons. So yeah, that's pretty accurate. Okay, so that's nice. I'm happy with that. So if we now just come and have a look at our data page, iris alignment, there we go, 3 nav green, that's literally just finished doing that. Aircraft status, the LEAP engines, current AIRAC cycle is valid, no problems there. Jazz Maxwell, if your radio randomly changes during flight, make sure that you don't have AI assist turned on of any sort, as they do like to fiddle with the radios, which is a little bit annoying. Right, just before we go through, normally I go through and set everything up, but just before I do that, I'm going to contact air traffic control and see what they would like us to do.
Olympic 320, descent 3000 feet, QNH 1025, cleared at nav approach. Descent 3000 feet, 1025, cleared at nav 7, Olympic 320.
So where are we? We're stand 5.
Olympic 105 in Thessaloniki, stand 16, request clearance to Vingelos. Olympic 105, stand by 1.
So we need to contact them. We're at stand 5.
792, cleared to land, runway 24, wind 310 degrees, 21,
and
31.
Just waiting for a break in ATC communications.
Clear to land for 4 is in on 792. Olympic 105, which runway would you prefer in Thessaloniki, 16 or 10? If possible, we'll take 16 Olympic 105. Okay, Olympic 105 to Athens, Thessaloniki 3 Bravo, runway 16, flight level 80, squawk 7251. Clear Venizelos, Mickey 3 Bravo, runway 16, flight level 80, squawk 7251, Olympic 105. Olympic 105, read back correct, call me for startup.
Athens, good evening, Easy 34 on Alpha Mike on the ground at Corfu, stand 5, type A320 Air, request IFR clearance as planned to Rome.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, just to avoid congestion on the frequency, I will text you the clearance and no need for readback.
Roger, thank you, 34 Alpha Mike. Okay, so we're going to get a text clearance, that's fine. So we'll just wait for that to come through. There we go. Runway 16, initial climb 1000 feet, squawk 7260.
Actually, Delta Whiskey 033, you have to maintain even flight level, descent flight level 320.
Okay, so I'm actually just going to come off that frequency for now, and it's the Tigre 2 Delta. And runway 16. For anyone that's thinking that that's actually not realistic, just getting the text clearance through, that actually is quite realistic, particularly in busy airspace. They send like an ACARS message through, so that's quite neat sometimes when we get that. So let's pop that squawk code in there, which was 7260. 7260. That's set. And let's have a look at these charts then. So it's going to be a runway 16 departure, which is nice. That's what we were hoping for. And it is the Tigre 2 Delta. So let's get rid of that. Tigre 2 Delta, there it is. Let's see how we're going to fly this departure then. So the Tigre 2 Delta, we're going to take off, and it's a left-hand turn at or above 500 feet. So basically come back, circle over the airfield to a heading of 249 degrees, and then back out. Once we're 10 miles away, we make a right-hand turn to intercept. And fly up to intercept the 303 radial from Caricra and go direct Tigre. So we can code quite a lot in here. Hard data, raw data. So we need to pop in the Garista VOR, and we need to code in the Caricra VOR as well. Kilo Romeo Kilo. Jazz Maxwell, you need to start using the pin options. Oh, definitely. It's well worth it. Okay, one of the other things we need to look at as well, max bank, a bank of 15 degrees rather, and a maximum of 210 knots in that turn. So 15 degree turn and 210 knots in the turn. That's fine to overfly the airport, the VOR. Okay, so now let's go ahead and actually code that in to the FMGC. So in its A page, let's pull that information in. Does the anti-ice system affect the landing? No, not at all. Right, so that's as that popped in and brought through as well. So what's our alternate to tonight? Our alternate is on the operational flight plans. The alternate is Lima India Romeo November. Lima India Romeo November. And Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Cost index of 8. Flight level 300 is confirmed and minus 49 degrees. Let's just change that. Minus 49. There we go. Let's check that tropo as well. So the tropo is showing here to be 36490, and on the flight plan it's 36078. 36078. And that's it. That's updated for us, so that's good. Okay, Ideas position, we should check that as well. Can compare that with the Navigraph charts, and if we just go to the IRS position, we just make sure that all of this looks as it should be for the stand that we're in. Okay, after that we're going to come to the flight plan. So flight plan is a departure runway 16, and it is the Tigre 2 Delta. There we go. Clear that scratch pad message and insert. And then at the other end, slight change. I've actually got so SimBrief gave us a routing of coming in on runway. Where is it? There it is. Runway 16 right. Well, normally they use runway 16 left, so a little bit of local knowledge there from HD. Runway 16 left, and instead of it being the LAT 3 Papa, we want the LAT 3 Echo. LAT 3 Echo. So it's going to be the LAT 3 Echo, runway 16 right. Let's key that in. Arrival. So runway 16. Did I say 16 right or 16 left? Sorry, 16 left. ILS 16 left. Do we have an ILS 16 left? I presume there was an ILS 16 left. If there is, it's not showing, which is interesting. That's very interesting. Looks like we might be doing a RNAV approach. Okay. RNAV it is. RNAV for 16 left. What I need to make sure before I pop that in is we've actually got charts available. So let's open these up and see. So yeah, 16 left should have an ILS available, which is strange that it doesn't. What I would imagine is I bet we can probably pick up the ILS from here, 108.1 when we get there. So we'll probably do that at some point. But for now then, let's put in the RNAV, the RMP. So the RNAV for 16 left. Just double checking, we've definitely not got any ILS for 16 left, have we? No, how random. Okay, RNAV it is. Which is a little bit of a pain as well, because this aircraft can't do an RNAV approach. But we can fly using FPA if we need to. So RNAV for 16 left. And it was the Lat 3 Echo arrival, and it is via is it via Exama? I believe that's correct. Let's see, Lat 3 Echo, yep, by Exama, which is just here, so that's fine, the initial approach fix, so that's correct as well. Insert. Farron, if you've got the ILS for runway 16 left, are you using Navigraph's database? I'm afraid I didn't, but I'll be using FPA. But then I can probably pick up the ILS frequency anyway. I bet that'll be there. Right, so let's have a look and check the distance. So 465 miles, and on here 458, spot on. Within 10 miles, so I'm happy with that. And that's probably just because I've changed the routing from 16 left to 16 right to 16 left. So that's fine. 1 hour and 10 minutes it suggests. So the RadNav page, remember we said we would need to pop in these couple of VORs for our departure. So Golf Alpha Romeo. There we go. And the other one, which is Kilo Romeo Kilo. There we go. And just check it is the one 12 miles away, not 1200 miles away. Good stuff. So one of the things I also need to do is we should probably, don't know why we haven't done this yet, but we should probably start letting some passengers on board, shouldn't we? To get you guys sat on board and sat down, so let's get going with that. Defueling is also finished, so we can pop the seatbelt signs on.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with the happenings that are up here, so you can now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you. No problem.
Get the APU started as well. APU starting, and I know what I've not opened up. We've not got the Pushback helper app opened up, so let's get that opened up. There we go, that'll connect, then we can get the doors open. Do we have any stairs tonight? We do have stairs. Ah, beautiful. So ground services, baggage, catering, passengers, and the door is open. Lovely. Tell you what I shall do as well. I don't notice it because I've got the dome light on, but I'm going to turn the dome light off for departure. Let's just have some pedestal and floodlights turned on. That's better. Right, so back to the FM GS. So RadNav page is sorted. Init B then page. So zero fuel weight of the aircraft tonight. is Nick. You've probably still got a chance to fire up and get coming if you want. Zero fuel weight of the aircraft was 58.8 and it's 29.6, isn't it? The zero fuel weight centre of gravity. Yeah, 26.9, other way around. 26.9. That's correct. So, trip wind today of a headwind of 29. I think Jazz Maxwell, what they may be looking at doing, a bit like the CRJ's got, is on the flypad maybe adding different states to the aircraft. So turnaround state, that sort of thing. That'd be really nice. I'd love the aircraft to be in a turnaround state. It's just a lot easier than setting everything up. We can still do everything realistically, of course, but everything's already running. Captain B, good evening, and Leonard as well. Madness88, good to see you. Okay, fuel planning page. Let's hit that. So it tells us 5 tons. We're taking 5.5 tons. So that's great. That's 5.5. Pop that in. Takeoff weight of 64.2. Now that's important, as I do have some calculations from HD that was just sent to me prior to the flight this evening. So let's have a look. So I've actually got takeoff weights of 65 tons here, so they're good enough. QNH is exactly the same, 1026. So we've got some performance pages to fill in now as well. So takeoff weight, a little bit. Oh, why have you shut the door? I'm pretty certain all our passengers are still trying to get on board. Silly cabin crew. Christian, so they even say on the Navigraph Better page, they say missing procedures have been added. Example, ILS 16 at LIRF. Oh well, could have done with that. Never mind. It doesn't matter, does it? Right, so let's come and have a look at our takeoff performance pages then. So, transition altitude here is 5,000 feet. We've been given a initial climb from ATC of, I think it was 50100. I'm going to check that. Yeah, climb 50100. Minimum safe altitude around us is, well, as we take off initially, it is 8,200 feet. So that's to the east of the airfield. To the west of the airfield, it's a little bit lower, 4,500 feet. But obviously that will let you know about the terrain that we've got around us. So then, let's put this in. Transition altitude is 5,000 feet, so initial climb is a flight level. And thrust reduction acceleration, we can leave that as correct. Noise abatement, standard departure 2. Flaps 3. No, it isn't. This is actually one of those very rare occasions where flaps 2 is going to be used for our takeoff. Flaps 2. And flex temp is available. It's flex 61. Transition altitude, etc. Okay, so these V speeds are 130, 130, and V2 is 133. Okay, so we have a maximum turn speed during that first left-hand turn of 210 knots. Well, clean would be 214. So let's go ahead and on the next page, just put in a selector speed of 210 knots. There we go. Make sure we hold that. Alright, so that's all set up. The performance page is all done. Let's have a look at doing a departure briefing then. So let me bring this back in. We're going to obviously push back from stand 5. We'll be facing north. and we'll taxi then via Alpha to holding point Alpha 3 for runway 16. Obviously take off, and then it is after 500 feet begin that takeoff turn. Bank of 15 degrees, maximum of 210. So that is all going to be hand flown, and obviously we want to try and get high out of the way of the terrain, so we'll get the terrain radar on as well for that. A couple of things that we also need to add in then. We want to add the there we go, so climb straight ahead and turn left to the GAR VOR, and then we're on the GAR 249 radial to 10 miles out. So there we want to pop 249 in the RadNav page. 249. And then after that, once we're 10 miles away from the GAR VOR, we want to make a right hand turn to intercept the 303 radial from Kakira rather. So let's pop that in. 303. 303. There we go. What I'm going to do now is, of course, turn both of those on. And there we have those coded in. What I'm now going to do is let's just pop out the navigation display and let's have a look and see how that's actually looking from a departure point of view. Let's put those constraints on. We can also set managed mode and flight level 10,000 or 100, flight plan and plan mode. Now then, as you can see, if you just popped autopilot on straight away for this, you're going to be very disappointed with what happens with the aircraft, because you've got a USR point. Remember, a USR point basically means it's a place in the flight plan where you as the pilot has to decide what you're doing and what's happening. So once we get to this USR point, we're not going direct here, the 249 radial from the GAR VOR. We're actually turning left by hand, so we'll hand fly this at 15 degrees, max speed of 210 knots, to fly back over the GAR VOR, and then at which point we could actually pop in the we could pop autopilot on, as it would then look to fly the routing as looks just here. What I'm going to do is, if we flick through that flight plan, then let's see how that looks. And that looks pretty good. All the way then up to Rome, and here's the approach that I expected to see as well. Yep, that looks coded in quite nicely. Excellent. So very happy with that. Now I'm just waiting for those last few passengers. So other things to be aware of course, in our departure briefing: the weather. Well, nothing wrong with the weather here. If we did have a major problem, I'm not too familiar with this airport, and landing on runway 16 is a pain, again just because of the terrain around it. I'm unfamiliar with the location of the airport and the terrain that surrounds it. It's not the longest runway in the world. Even though we are below our maximum landing weight, I think if we had a problem, I would look to divert and go perhaps to Athens, which isn't too far away. Basically somewhere where I'm familiar and happy with, and that's an important point, particularly at night time as well. I prefer to fly, and real world pilots prefer to fly to airports that they know, so nothing can catch them out. So if we did have an issue, I would most likely look to divert and go to Athens, big international airport, a couple of runways available, and I'm familiar with it. Problems with the aircraft: we know it doesn't do RNAV approaches. We do currently have an RNAV approach keyed in. I'm hoping that the ILS frequency will be picked up. If not, I will have to use FPA to perform that RNAV. Threats to be aware of course, as we take off. There is a big hill to the right of us, lower terrain to the left, and then we have got lots of terrain this side of the airfield, but we're obviously not hopefully going to pass anywhere near there, as we're going to fly straight back over the airport. So with that, just waiting for those last few passengers to get on board. APU is running. Bleed air. I can disconnect the external power. That can disappear. And we can just start tidying the flight deck up, and we'll run our before start checklist. So external ground power can go. Robbie, why can't the aircraft perform our nav approaches? Just because at the moment this custom fly-by-wire build from FlyByWire won't do our nav approaches with the normal approach mode, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. It'll come. It will come eventually. Okay, all passengers are now on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our Easyjet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Thank you.
So just have a quick look around us as well. There seems to be quite a bit of traffic. I don't know what that aircraft's doing. That seems to be parked in a rather strange place. A very strange place, actually. That's not even a parking stand, so I don't know who that is. Robbie, can I fly the RNAV in managed heading mode? No, you'd fly in nav mode, but you'd just use the FPA for your descent rate. Okay, so we've already got our departure clearance and the before start checklist, so the line can now be run. So our cockpit preparation is now completed. The signs are on and auto. Our gears are aligned. We've already checked. We've got 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is 5.5 tons. Flight management guidance system's all set. Altimeter 1026. Let's just check that hasn't changed whilst we've been here. 1026. No, that is correct. Okay, so we've run our departure briefing. Let's try and get our pushback clearance, although there seems to be aircraft behind us, so that could be interesting. Let's make a call, shall we?
Yeah, British 320. Push and start approved facing north.
Push and start approved facing north for Easy-525.
Athens, good evening. Easy-34 Alpha Mike on the ground at Corfu. We're ready for push and start.
Roger, standby 1 Alitalia 710, climb flight level 300, direct.
So we're probably just going to have to wait for some traffic to clear.
300, direct Alitalia 710. Easy-34 Alpha Mike, if you can comment your push facing north, says that caution there is an aircraft almost behind you.
Roger, we'll commence a very small and slow push. Easy-34 Alpha Mike.
Golf Juliet Tango 356, expect RNAV approach 27.
If you could please get the cabin crew
Expecting RNAV approach to 7, Golf Juliet Tango 356.
we'd very much appreciate it. So on behalf of myself and the first officer, we'd like to say thank you for choosing Easyjet today, and we hope to give you a safe flight.
Hello, Sierra X-ray Bravo Mike Kilo to Lima India Charlie Juliet, Leighton to Delta departure, runway 16, climb flight level 1.
Okay, before start checklist below the line, windows and doors are closed and armed, rotating beacon light is on, mobile phone is off, parking brake released. And we can start engine 1. Engine mode 2 ignition. Engine 1 master, starting
Sierra
engine 1.
Mike Kilo, readback correct, startup is approved, TNA it's 1026.
1026 Sierra X-ray Bravo Mike Kilo for the back for taxi.
Baltic 549er, cleared and nav approach, runway 27, report to runway inside. Cleared and nav approach, runway 27, will report
Take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board.
Easyjet 54, climb 360.
Adjusted and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on and we must keep it fastened at all times. If the air
Speedbird
supply fails, masks
682.
will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. But the mask
Monitor Unicom,
will
122.8.
hold in place with the strap
122.8,
on your side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head.
Center, Easy 5365, race taxi, runway 16.
Pull the strap to
Easy
adjust.
5665, taxi line up runway 16.
When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to
Taxi, line up, runway 16 for Easy 5365.
there is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with Easyjet.
Okay, so it looks like we're in position. We can put the parking brake on. Pushback is complete. Let's start engine 2. Robbie, can you hear the pre-recorded announcements in the cabin? You normally hear them through the headsets, just so you can know what's going on over the PA. If you wish, you can turn them off, I believe.
When ready, flight level 110. Direct Gonza 100, descending to 110, coach the tanker 356.
So, a bit of congestion here at Corfu. How nicely realistic. It's like the height of summer and COVID never happened.
Requesting further climb. Olympic 460, what is your final level?
280.
Okay, climb flight level 280.
Flight level 280.
So I'm still waiting for engine number 2 to fire up. There it goes. And engine number 2 is now available. So engine mode select to norm. APU bleed coming off, anti-ice not required. And let's just check what's our aircraft CFG is 27.1. Okay, so let's come down to the center pedestal and let's do the ground spoilers, rudder trim 0, set, flaps 1, and the pitch trim.
Runway 27, runway 9. Baltic 4549, clear to land runway 27, wind 350 degrees, 20 knots. Clear to land runway 27, Baltic 549. Easy 5665, clear for takeoff runway 16, wind calm.
Clear takeoff runway 16 for Easy 5665.
So we'll now run the after start checklist. And engine
Easyjet 54 monitor.
anti-ice is
Uniform
off,
1 to
ecam status is checked, pitch trim 27.1, rudder trim 0. So pushback
Bye-bye.
is now
Italia 710, Unicorn 1 to decimal 8, good night.
cleared to disconnect. He should disappear in a minute if he hasn't done already, which he has. He's gone.
Good night, sir. Olympic 105 request. Olympic 105.
So we'll try and get our taxi clearance in if we can.
Olympic 105, we would like to stop climb at flight level 250, if that's okay with you. Yeah, stop and maintain 250. Thank you, maintain flight level 250, Olympic 105.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike is ready for taxi at Corfu.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, taxi in line up runway 16.
Taxi and line up runway 16. Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Express 166, would you like to climb further?
So just doing a quick flight control check.
60, Express 166.
Full
Okay,
down.
climb 360.
Rudder, full right.
Climbing
Rudder,
level 360,
full
Express
left. He wants us to line up straight away, so let's try and get as much ahead of the game as we can. Taxi lights are now on. Let's release those parking brakes. And a little bit of thrust to get us moving.
Radio 5 and Vueling 6175, ready to copy.
Go ahead.
Vueling 6175, you are cleared to Roma, Tigra, 2 Delta departure, runway 16, flight level 100 and squawk 7241.
HD, how long you been there? Tio config would have picked that up, wouldn't it?
Correct. When ready.
At least I hope it would.
Push.
Why is it not?
Roger. Look, Easy 6175.
Easy 56665, proceed direct Tigra, climb flight level 240.
And there we were thinking everything was going so beautifully well.
Level 240 for Easy 5665.
And direct Tigra.
Cover that direct Tigra, flight level 140, 5565.
Okay, once more. Climb flight level 240, direct Tigra.
Climb level 240, direct Tigra, 5565.
So this is Alpha 2 on the left. We're going all the way to Alpha 3 for holding point.
Feeling 6175, ready to push.
HD, that's strange. That's very strange actually, because one of the... hang on, I just want to check the wing.
I don't actually, sorry, I didn't realise you were online, so I'd already pushed, but
Okay, let's just move around there, shall we?
Alright, then taxi.
Yeah, I thought you got a McDo Flaps config disagreement. I did earlier today when I was messing around with Flaps 3.
Easy
So,
34 Alpha
that's
Mike,
interesting.
clear for takeoff 16, wind calm.
Cleared for takeoff 16 at Corfu, wind calm. Thank you, Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Control Calispera CX, Golf Sierra Tango, requesting IFR pro Santorini.
Poli Calispera, CX, Golf Sierra Tango, you are clear to Santorini, mileage 1 kilo, runway 16.
Okay, I'm just going to hold here as we've still got a couple of things still to do. So,
7270.
no change in our performance. Double check that. QNH is still 1026. That's correct. Engine out procedure. As I said, I would already look to divert to, unless something terrible was happening, I'd look to divert to Athens because I'm more familiar with it than I am here. Departure matches what we've got in the FMGC, that's fine, and stop altitude is 10,000 feet, flight level 100, as it is above the transition altitude, which is 5,000 feet. Minimum safe altitude to the east is 8,200 and 4,500 to the west. Here's the 34 Alpha Mike, Roger, will just be another minute if that's okay.
Alright, no worries, brake, speed bird, 1881
So,
Unicorn 122.9.
let's run the before takeoff checklist. Flight controls are checked. We've confirmed our departure briefing. We know what we're doing. turn after 500 feet, and it's a bang angle of 15 and max speed of 210 knots. FMA takeoff data 130 blue, 133 magenta, climb nav blue, 10,000 blue, 1 FD2 and 61 degrees flex. And transponder is set, we can actually turn that on. We also, whilst we're here, TARA and tilt above. Check those wheel temperatures, they're absolutely fine. We've already been given our takeoff clearance. Let's get those lights on, and we'll also tell the cabin crew as well on self-loading cargo to get sat down.
Baltic 549, welcome to Iraq, and continue to stand 1-1. Stand 1-1, Baltic 549.
Radar, good evening, Flyjet 316, start Corfu, stand 4, request coordinates to Olbia.
Hello, flight Italy 3196 to Olbia, Tigra to...
Good evening, Digital, good to see you as well, sir.
Flight level 100, Skok 7231.
Okay, so before takeoff checklist below the line, cabin is secured for takeoff. Engine mode select, norm, TCAS TARA, tilt above, packs are off, anti-ice off.
Flight Italy 316, read back correct, startup is approved, QNH 1026.
QNH 1026,
Where's that aircraft going?
Easy 3 for Alpha Mike, clear for takeoff, runway 16, wind calm.
Clear for takeoff, runway 16, easy 3 for Alpha Mike. And we're rolling now.
175, line up, runway 16 sequence.
Okay. Takeoff, 50%, and 1.
Continue flight level 300.
And Toga.
Easy 5665, climb flight level 300.
Man Toga, SRS. Runway still not showing, fault with the simulator in the aircraft.
Sierra X-ray Bravo Mike Kilo, direct Latam.
Direct Latam,
100 knots.
Athens radar, easy
V1,
973 in road,
rotate.
Clearance to Gatwick. Hello, easy 9793, you are clear to London Gatwick, Vanes to Alpha, runway 24, climb initially 6,000 feet, and your squawk 7257. First I hit Gatwick Vanes to Alpha out of 24, initial climb 6,000, squawk 7257 for easy 9793. Easy 9793, read that correct, startup is approved, do you need pushback?
So we're now at climb thrust, or thrust climb and climb.
QNH 107. 1017, and yes, we need pushback, easy 9793. Okay, are you
Maintaining that turn rate.
We are ready, we have just to call the push out.
Farron, it should have been flex, yeah.
Okay.
They went into Toga.
Facing east, break, Adria 4 Delta Whiskey, descend 4,000 feet. Cleared, locator approach 01.
Descend altitude 4,000 feet, cleared, locator approach 01, Adria 4 Delta Whiskey.
Olympic 105, request descent. Olympic 105, descend flight level 170.
Descend flight level 170, Olympic 105.
Request descent, Olympic 460. Olympic 460, descend flight level 200. Flight level 200, Olympic 460.
So just concentrating on that turn at the moment. Flight director's looking good.
255, Olympic 105.
255, alright. Adria 4 Delta Whiskey, QNH 10.
Need to remember, of course, keep an eye on the altitude. We've got a stop climb altitude of flight level 100, so let's set standard pressure. And we go flaps 1. Clean that up.
Yes, Olympic 254, proceed.
Turn's looking good. Let's get those packs now back on.
BFOC for Arnav approach runway 32.
Direct VFOC for Airline approach runway 32 or leaving 254, thank you.
Start to roll it out gently.
34 Alpha Mike. Proceed direct to Tigra, climb flight level 240.
Direct Tigra, flight level 240, Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
Boeing 60175, clear for takeoff, runway 16, wind calm.
So 240 blue, let's just level that out. And we're direct to Tigra now.
Good
So,
evening, Easyjet 5 Alpha Mike, Airbus 320
direct
ground at
Tigra,
QNH10,
insert,
IFR to Gatwick.
and right hand turn commencing. Autopilot 1 can now come on.
5 Alpha Mike, you are clear to Gatwick.
Autopilot 1 engaged.
Runway 24, climb flight level, correction, climb 6000, squad 7 to
Please
65.
keep your seatbelt fastened while the
Centre
seatbelt
Gatwick,
sign is on.
via to after departure runway 24, climb 6000 feet, squawk 7 to 65, Easyjet 5
Remember,
Mike.
smoking is not
Break, AGN 424, contact.
Coming up to 10,000 feet, let's get those lights off.
AGN 424.
Go ahead, AGN 424.
Την Αθήνα 139 750.
Athena 122.975, AGN 424. Καλό βράδυ, γεια σας.
We're way above the terrain now, so we can get the terrain radar off.
Approach 132.975, will it be 105, ευχαριστούμε, καλή συνέχεια.
Yeah, so the 15 degrees was a minimum bank. I actually thought we rolled out quite nice over the VOR then, obviously until he told us we could go direct to Tigra. But as departures go, I was fairly happy with that. Ding the cabin crew.
Easy 34 Alpha Mike, and flight level 300.
Flight level 300 for Easy 34 Alpha Mike.
254.
And
Limbic 254.
300 blue.
For higher.
What is your final level?
At this point we can go to flight level 210.
Okay, climb flight level 210.
Flight level 210.
So we're away. All good there. And direct Tigra, which was about 40 miles away.
Tango 356, descend 3000 feet, QNH 1025. Descend 3000 feet, but QNH 1025, so cool, Tango 356.
Nice yellow, red hue as well on the horizon.
Okay, turn left, heading 040 degrees.
That's heading 040, Gulchi Tango 356.
HD, I was waiting for you to say that.
Boeing 175, proceed direct Tigra, climb flight level.
I'll look forward. Have you
240.
started writing yet?
640, Tigris, heading 6175.
And flight level 300, the cruise, absolutely fine with that. And we can probably look at getting the passengers out the seats as well. So let's turn off those seatbelt signs.
After the radar, good easy, Condor 135, stand Tango 4 in Irakura, boosting clearance to
Under 135, you're clear to Athens, Epelo, 1 Victor, runway 27, climb flight level 100, squawk 7234.
Well, HD, it is Friday. I think you set the precedent last week of doing a Friday night quiz, so go for it. Do I have to answer them?
Apollo 1 via initial flight start 100, squawk 72.
Fran, I think it already does come with the cross-check things.
For Delta Whiskey.
I honestly can't remember, Fran, because obviously I have changed it.
Baseline 01, Adria 42 Whiskey.
Easy now under 135, let's go.
Ah, HT, of course, runway wouldn't be displayed. It hasn't got an ILS.
Easy 9793, via taxiway Alpha line up runway 24. Alpha line up 24, easy 9793.
I think that's right, isn't it? Runway
5 Alpha Mike, when the taxiway behind you is clear, push and start.
runway 16 doesn't have an ILS, does it?
When taxiway clear, push and start, please, facing east, Easyjet 5 Alpha Mike, thank you.
Golf Joliet, Tango 356.
I'm double checking now.
270.
That's heading 270, Gulchi Tango.
Yeah, it doesn't have an ILS. There's no ILS there. Full stop. That's why it doesn't say runway. It can't find the ILS beacon.
Monitor Unicom 122.8. Olympic 525. Olympic 554.
That's question 1. Can I avoid the ruler for question 2? I am curious to know how many other people in the chat, particularly our channel members, how many other people was answering the same as I just did. Facts true. I retracted them to flaps 1. I retracted them after F speed. That's when I retracted them. Should they not have been on F speed? Oh, Danny, we have lots of exams on this channel, mate. Enjoy. Drini, I'm sorry, sir. I will not have seen your question. I don't purposefully ignore any of them. I'll just not have seen it during the flight.
Easy 97903, line up 24. Line up 24, 993. Sierra X-ray, Bravo, Mike, Kilo, Monitor, Unicom 122.8 today. 122.8, thank you for service, Sierra X-ray, Bravo.
So I'm wondering how much air traffic control we're going to get tonight, which is going to be quite nice.
175, climb flight level 280.
HD, no I hadn't. There you go. There's the ruler moment. I know I didn't reach the acceleration altitude before retracting them.
Willing 6175, climb flight level 280. 280, Olympic 254, when you're ready, descend flight level 110.
And track, good evening. Dark Fury, I didn't know you were in the chat, sir. Good evening.
Olympic 254, descend flight level 110.
And thanks to our new followers on Facebook. Thank you very much to you guys for that.
Easy 97903, clear for takeoff runway 24, wind 320 degrees 20, gusting 30 knots. Clear takeoff to 4 easy 97903. Easy 34 Alpha Mike, Unicom 122.8 tonight.
Over to Unicom now, thanks for the service. Easy 34 Alpha Mike, good night.
Good night.
Okay, let's pop Unicom on, and obviously a little bit quieter on here, so can concentrate a little bit more on the chat as we're climbing towards our cruising level. Green dot speed HD, you're going to test my memory now, was 216. You're going to rewind the stream and find out. I can't do that. Was that a memory question or was that relevant? Oh, Christian. Well, it is Friday night. Alan Hancock on Facebook. I'm sorry, I can't look at. Well, I can look out the window, but not during the main bit of flight. I also have forgot to reset my custom views up for this because it's the new aircraft that I downloaded just prior to the flight. So that's why. Dan Powell, I have updated. This is the very latest experimental version of about an hour prior to taking off, and I've updated my textures for the new livery because I was testing the new FlyByWire custom installer that's coming out soon, which has a built-in livery converter. So looking forward to that. Oh, HD, that's a question. I'm going to have to read that again. That's like a mastermind question. How long have I got? 30 seconds. So, HD asks, if 210 knots was the maximum speed, what speed could you have flown in the first turn considering green dot was above the maximum speed you were allowed to fly at? I'm going to have to reread that. Yeah, so 210 was the maximum speed. What speed could you have flown the first turn in considering green dot was above? Could we have flown that still at flaps 2? I honestly don't know now. I can already see the debrief coming, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. They're always well annotated. Speed and alt star, flight level 300 creeping up on us now. And there's alt cruise. So I'm going with Christian. I'm going to say F speed. Should we have just kept flaps 2 out during that first turn? Captain B, the new FlyByWire installer will be available basically as soon as it's fully tested. 100% sure there's no bugs, and to be fair, they normally get these things sorted pretty quickly. I personally love the way that HD was there in stealth mode until the flaps config didn't pick up my error. I'm almost certain it does because I was doing it today when I was messing about and made a point of it. Oh yeah, sure. S speed. What was S speed? It was something like 19 something, wasn't it? It was definitely below 210. Yeah, that would have made sense. We shouldn't have bothered cleaning up. Invinius shop, when GPS primary is lost, what do you do to fix it? Basically, it just means that you've not turned on these 3 little knobs here to the centre at the top. Turn those on and all shall be well, my friend. I'm using Christian's excuse of it being Friday as well. Why not? Do you know what, actually, now you've said that, HD, I'm really annoyed that I didn't do that, because I know you could have just flown S speed. We could have just left flaps 1 out. That would have been fine. I'd already plumbed in as well 210 just in case into the managed speed. But, that's another one of those moments when you think, oh yeah. We have plenty of moments like that on this channel. Mark is now following on Facebook. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. That's great to have you on board, our new Facebook followers. And thank you for liking the stream as well. Thank you, Steve. Very kind of you. So, no air traffic control at the moment. Do we have air traffic control currently in Milan? Yes, we do. Except we're not going to Milan. We're going to Rome. So I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to cover us. Milan was a bit far tonight. That was a bit of a longer flight. Danny, that's the reason HD is here. To help, educate, inform, correct, spank, and all of the above. So, as HD points out, the problem with putting 210 knots in is it's in between the two speeds. Yes, of course, because green dot was, what was it, 216, and S speed was 196. I'm going to say something like that. So yeah, it's in a daft speed to fly because it's between the two, and obviously we spoke before that at 210 knots the flaps disappear anyway, unless they jam. You're not talking from experience now, are you? I sincerely hope not.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you'll be delighted to hear that we're now at our cruising altitude, and we hope to give you nice views throughout the flight as we have good weather ahead and should be experiencing any turbulence. Of course, this means that you will not spill any of your drinks that you may have from the cabin crew as they begin to start making their way around the aircraft. Could you please ensure that the aisles are kept clear so the cabin crew can offer you their cabin service, which will begin shortly. A reminder that Easyjetsimpilot channel members are able to access free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight.
Oh, Nick, I was on mute. Yeah. I don't know why I was on mute. I caught the button. Right, so you've just missed everything I'm trying to say about these green equal signs, but HD is still going to have to correct me. So the green equal signs I thought were indicative that the aircraft was in normal low, showing that the max bank angle is 67 degrees, but you need to continually deflect the side stick fully left, fully right in order to get that far, and then it will hold you at 67 degrees. If you then let go of the side stick, it will revert back to a bank angle of, I believe it's 33 degrees, but HD, you're going to have to confirm that because it's Friday night and it's late. So yeah, Captain B, I was trying to answer those questions. I'm just waiting for HD to go, yep, nope, yep, nope. Don't know why I was on mute. Oh, crazy. Never mind. I'm going to wait for HD now to come and tell me if I was right or wrong. Whilst HD taps away, let's serve the alcohol.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we could be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Okay, so HD says the green equals at 67, indicative that you're in normal low. Excellent. I get a tick for that one. The equal signs at the bottom is, what's that? That's 15 degrees. Yeah, you can't pitch lower than 15 degrees in normal low. So again, that's another protection thing. HD is going to come in and tell me if I'm right or wrong for all of this lot. So Farron, you love the announcements of self-loading cargo, but you don't know whether to use self-loading cargo or Pack X. I just like the way you can customize self-loading cargo. I think that's really neat. Nice and easy to do. Hey Nick, don't thank me. HD hasn't told me if I'm right yet. Anyway, something we haven't done. We've been on the cruise for a while yet. I've cleared the RadNav page. That's fine. Ecam's all looking good. Let's just check the flight progress. Where are we? We are about 3 minutes away from Luxil. So 5, 6, 7, 8. About 28 minutes away. Let's check that operational flight plan. And the fuel, 28 minutes. Let's see. Oh, we're actually a little bit ahead of time. Well, we would be because the we're using a different departure routing, so that's okay. Christian, are you okay? I've not touched anything with the aircon sounds, so has it changed somewhat? I can turn the wind interior volume down. Is that any better? I can also turn the engine volume down a little bit. Don't know if that helps. Captain Campbell, any word when you can look up the distance from a waypoint? Well, actually, I thought this had been merged. I don't know whether it's already in the dev build. In fact, no, it isn't, because I tried it earlier today. But yeah, it would be nice if that was working, so I could just plumb in a waypoint, etc., and put it in here. I thought that had been merged. I tested it again the other day, as did a few others. It can't be far away from there now. It really can't. Madness88, thanks very much, my friend. I shall see you very soon. So In terms of fuel as well, what have we got? We've just got under 4 tons of fuel, and if we check that operational flight plan, uh, 3.2 tons, so yeah, that's fine. Christian turned the packs off. Fair enough. Andrew, good evening. HD, I like that suggestion. Just try pitching down further than 15 degrees in normal law. Strangely enough, I've not tried it. When the simulator first came out, it did let you do it. That protection wasn't there. Pitching up, that protection was, but pitching down wasn't. HD is disappearing to go and get some banana bread. Is that like jam and toast tea? Fair enough, HD. We'll see you in a bit. Now, Brindisi is one of Easyjet's local places to go. So let's just check the weather for Brindisi in case we have any problems and we need to land. What's the weather doing there? Oh, ceiling and visibility is fine. No winds, 8 degrees. Great stuff. Johnny B, we're flying to Rome this evening. And thankfully, everything's just working as fine. Oh, HD, you've got the cabin crew on it. I forgot what my cabin crew looks like. I've spent the last 2 weeks nearly just painting walls pink and re-glossing skirting boards and doors. That's why we've not had any evening streams for a while. So, but anyway, I managed to get a little bit done this afternoon, so I thought, oh, we'll get online tonight. We'll do some flying. No, B, any intentions of doing a Boeing flight? Because that would be awesome. The problem, Noah, is I don't know how you fly Boeing. Not correctly, anyway. Someone once asked me if I was ever on a Boeing 737 or something, and, you know, the worst happened, the pilots both became incapacitated, would I be able to get into the flight deck and land it? To which my response remains the same. I'd get it down, but every alarm in the cabin would be going off. But hopefully we'd be able to walk away from it. HD chain of command. HD, no, the fix is not yet working, which I was very disappointed about. I thought that had been merged, but sadly not. Captain Campbell, I have seen that. I have got access to it. We may even do do you know what? If we get a chance, we might do a flight with that this weekend. What do you reckon, guys? Should we do a flight with the new EFB? I was going to wait until it actually came out, and then I could do like a bit of a tutorial flight thing on it. But we might have a sneaky peek tomorrow. No, B, thank you very, very much, sir, for your kind $5 donations. Noah says, love the stream, as always. Well, Noah, you're very kind, sir. Thank you very much, and hopefully, not only is it a little bit entertaining, but hopefully a little bit educational as well. Johnny B, I should fly the 777 Amsterdam to Sao Paulo. You see, one of the other problems with that is the longest I ever usually get time to fly is a maximum of about 5 hours, 6 at an absolute push, and we usually do those on a Monday for our long haul flights. No, B, is this the EFB with Navigraph? No, it's not. It's not there yet. I do have access to that mod just because I am a QA tester with them. But this particular aircraft that I'm flying right now doesn't have it. But as I say, if we get a chance, does anyone fancy that? Anyone fancy seeing a flight tomorrow with Navigraph on the EFP? And the new layout as well. It's got operating system 2. It's going to be like Apple. Oh, HD, you'd most certainly not be able to land it if I had a go. Friend, does the constraint mode work only for RNAG approaches or with whichever system you're currently using? The aircraft will adhere to constraints, but they're not always coded correctly. Oh no, Captain B, if we ever got that chance, we'd be telling HD how we should have landed it. We'll reverse the roles for a little while. Oh, Danny, has that not come up on the stream, my friend? Well, first of all, thank you very, very much. Let me have a look at that. Not sure why that didn't flash up. Hopefully, though, I can see you should be showing in the bottom left-hand corner, Noah. So, hopefully, I'll have a little look into that, why that hasn't, Noah. Just realised, and I don't know why this is, but I'm getting the feeling that my voice is a good 60 seconds behind the actual stream that you guys are getting. Which is a little bit strange, isn't it? I know there's normally a little bit of lag, but not that much. Andrew Sanderson asks, which is the best A320NX version to fly, stable, development or experimental? Well, I like the experimental just because of how it handles, really. Much nicer to fly. So let's have a look how we're going to be doing this approach then. So we're not doing what SimBrief gave us. I'm actually doing what HD gave me earlier tonight, which when I checked it out, I realised it did look a bit daft, because I have been to Rome before. I couldn't remember if I had been before, but I think we have. And I have never landed on 16 right. It's always been 16 left with a blooming great big long taxi. So let's have a look, shall we? The Lat 3 Papa has now become the Lat 3 Echo 4. Well, I want the ILS approach, but the ILS is actually missing in the simulator. So we have to use the RNAV approach. However, I'm hoping we can actually get the ILS here. We could almost fly raw data. So, because the RNAV approach brings us into Exama, and then from there we can intercept the ILS just here. What's the platform? 2,500 feet. Yeah, so we'd be able to pull in the ILS just there. Let's get that keyed in, shall we, to the RadNav page. 108.1. There it is. I'm just going to have to hope that even though the procedure isn't there, that the actual ILS information is there. So let's hope so. HD, ILS 16 right is not in the box. The RNP approach for 16 left is. I don't even think we were given the option for 16 left or right. It just wasn't an option tonight. I think the only other option was what's the runway that crosses it? Is it something like runway 26? I think ILS 26 was available. Not sure why it isn't. It's just missing in the database, so that's a shame. So my plan is flying the LAT3 Echo, which begins from here, the Latina VOR. So in fact, you know what, let's it's great when I can actually do these streams in an evening and I've got both screens to play with, rather than one for work and one for flying. So now let's have a look and go to plan mode. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Runway 25, thanks HD. Didn't know the runway designation. So if we just scroll through, there we go, bring that up, compare that with what we've got here. So there's the Latina VOR. From there then we've got Rome 414, the Rome VOR, then Ogtom, Asulu, Vacab was that one. And then instead of flying the full routing, if we can get the ILS system and we've got nothing too much to be concerned of altitude wise, can we cut the approach short rather than flying all the way around here? What's been on safe altitude there? 5,800 feet. But at Exama Arnav, we could probably get to 4,000 feet safely there. Could we not, HD? We don't need to fly all the way around here. If there's no other traffic around, rather than flying the full published approach. And then from Exama, as long as we're picking up the ILS frequency, that brings us here. We've just got this hillside there, bit of terrain, about 1,400 feet, which we would look to cross. If we were about 2,000 feet just there coming into Exama, so if we went to 4,000 feet by Exama just here from Vacab, rather than going the whole procedure, then that'll obviously save a bit of fuel, save some time, and that should be alright. The other thing we need to do then is, once we have got that planned, we need to actually have a look at our taxiing, because the taxiing here, I do remember it, is a bit of a nightmare. So let me just have a look, close that down, bring up some taxi charts. Airport, parking stands, and HD, you flagged up a particular chart that I needed to be aware of. Where's that gone? Let's have a look. Continue standard 1. Let's see. 10-1 Papa 4. 10-1 Papa 4. So 210 knots starting the turn to intercept, localize the DME or appropriate VOR radio, or at a distance of 12 miles from the threshold in the case of a straight in approach. 180 knots completing the intercepting turn. or at a distance of 8 miles from threshold in case of a straight-in approach, and 160 knots to be maintained until a distance of 4 miles. So these are all things that we should probably be highlighting and scribbling down. And runway 16 left for landing. Pilots must report when the runway is vacated. And aircraft landing on runway 16 left will be instructed to continue standard 1. I do remember this. Continue standard 1. Standard 1 is to intend taxiway on Delta, holding short of taxiway Echo Golf, and stand by on the ground frequency. So I've just read what HG has written about that standard 1 as I was reading that out. So that's how long that that's how long the stream's delayed. But yeah, there it is. So obviously speed restrictions 160 knots till 4 miles DME. But yeah, I don't think there's any air traffic control online, so they're not going to tell us to continue standard 1. But in terms of where we're going, it's taxiway Delta, and then holding just, oh, where's that gone? Taxiway Delta, hold short of Echo Golf, which is, where's Echo Golf? Taxiway Delta, 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 hold short of Echo Golf, just here. And then HD, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the actual correct taxiway, isn't the actual correct place for the Easyjets to park somewhere around here on the mic ramp, somewhere like that? Which is it one of these? The West Satellite Stand? That's a nice long taxi. That's one of the that's definitely a single engine operations taxi, isn't it? Okay, let's get some weather and then we're going to start looking at planning that descent. So we'll get that weather request. I can actually check what the weather's doing over here anyway. But I think 100 at 5, so nice and light. Ceiling visibility is fine. QNH 1027. And I've lost my pen. Where's my pen gone? Christian Stan 707 sounds good. I'm just double checking we've got that ILS frequency as well, 108.1. Runway 16 left. Ooh, there's an approach checklist, a check going on at St. Martin. Should we just do a quick detour? Head to the Caribbean. So the transition altitude here is 6,000 feet. Platform altitude for the ILS is 2,500 feet. Decision altitude is 214. Minimum safe altitude around the airport as we're coming in is 5,800 feet to the east as we're coming in from there. And then missed approach is 2,000 feet. What else do we need? It's the, which star is it? It's the LAT3 Echo. Latina 3 Echo. TNCM was our alternate, right? Yeah, why not? That's one big detour. So HD, can I just get a PM check from you that we'd have no problem going from VACAB direct to Exama and then cutting this little full published approach out. We'll slow obviously down to 200 knots for Exama and then pick up the ILS runway 16 left from there. We'll just vector ourselves in really, as no air traffic control is online. Yay or nay to that. And it won't be long though before we start our descent now. So let's have a look at the, oh, wrong one. Let's have a look at the weather that we've just got. AOC menu, messages received, meta, and print.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Do you know, HD, you've just brought up a very interesting point. As long as the flight plan is happy. Activating the approach phase messed the flight plan up when we went, yeah, that's right. So, enter destination data. Just clear that a second. I wonder if... So, what I want to do is I want to get rid of a few of these waypoints. I'm sure I read somewhere you may be able to do this now. So, we want to go from VACAB to... So can I clear these out? Have I just cleared the wrong one out? Erase that. I didn't think I had. So if I can clear... We need to leave VACAB in. I want to get rid of 442. Will that work? Oh no. That didn't work one bit. Yeah, alright, leave it. We're just going to have to go direct. We'll see if the flight plan will be happy with it. Either way, we're about to start our descent. So we've got the weather and landing information. I'm just going to pop that in a sec. Landing elevation as well. We just need to confirm that the landing elevation for runway 16 left is 14 feet. Auto brake not required. And the arrival briefing we've just talked about. We'll pop the terrain radar on as well. There is a little bit of terrain around, particularly as we're making that little shortcut as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, from flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear, the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our Easyjetsimpilot members that free drinks are still available from the
Thrust idle, open descent. And flight level 060.
shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Jonathan, the problem was we were pressing clear, we were trying to select Rome 442 and insert. Unfortunately, it didn't do that. It actually deleted VACAB, which is the waypoint I do not want to delete. I need that waypoint as we're going to continue straight from VACAB to Exama, in which case we'll just go, we'll go direct and pick up the ILS that way. So we're on our way down. Christian, for the next long haul Monday flight, mileage Monday, can we do a DHL freighter flight to get some graphics cards back from Taiwan? Oh yeah, the price of them is crazy, isn't it? Australia 67, just a question. Sometimes during an on-nav approach, you engage the approach phase at 10 miles. When do you want to engage it? You actually want to engage it probably a little under half a mile from the final approach fix, and then it should, in the real world, pick up that descent rate, but sadly it doesn't work yet. Jonathan, no, I didn't press insert because it cleared the wrong waypoint out. As I say, I don't want to clear VACEB out. So, descending currently at about 2,000 feet per minute, flight level 260, we're on our way down. So we're just going to keep an eye on that descent rate. And profile. We'll also just make a quick call on Unicom as well. Rome traffic, Easy 34 Alpha Mike is inbound the Lativa VOR for the Latina 3 Echo arrival into Rome. Currently 25 miles to the east and passing flight level 250.
Getting 617 also inbound Latina 250.
Okay, so Shehu, if you activated the approach mode too early, the approach mode, so this one over here, not the approach phase, if you just turn it back off. That's the way to do that. I don't think there's a way of coming out of the approach phase, is there, HD? Other than going toga. I'm not aware of any other way of doing that. Jonathan, I'm going to show you this again, just so you're happy with that. Right, so I'm going to select clear. I then want to delete the waypoint Romeo Fox 442, leaving VACEB in. VACEB needs to remain in. If I select that, VACEB disappears and leaves Romeo Fox 442 in. That is not what I want to do. I do not want to delete VACEB. So I'm going to erase it. Anyway, let's just pop this weather in. Atsu AOC. Oh, wrong. What am I doing? Performance menu. There we go. So the QNH is 1027. Temperature is +9. And the wind is 1005. Transition altitude is 5,000. No, it isn't. It's 6,000 feet. And it's giving us only the option for a barrow because I've got an iron I've plumbed in there, but that's fine. The barrow radio altitude was 214. The barrow altitude, sorry. Decision altitude is 214. There we go. I can try doing the one below it. Not that that makes too much sense from a normality point of view, but if I go back to that flight plan, select clear, and go 443, so I'm selecting 443 now. Oh, that is strange, isn't it? It's left VACEB there. Okay, so if I now select 444, 446, 447, 448. So if I go and clear examiner, which I actually don't want to clear, then what happens? In fact, you know what, just insert that. So that's tidied up a little bit of that, and I need to get rid of 414. Well, that's strange. Why is it clearing the wrong waypoint? So if I now clear 448, will that let me? No, erase that. Okay, let's clear examiner. Clear examiner and make sure we still have that link between VACEB and examiner still there, which we do. Okay, insert that. There we go. That's been tidied up. Bit of a sloppy dashed way around it, but it has worked by selecting the wrong waypoint. How strange. Not very strange at all. Anyway, fly level 160. Let's get those seatbelt signs on and get the QNH set 1027 here on the standby. There we go. 1027 is set. Happy with everything on the ECAM. Fly level 150, seatbelt signs coming on. And we'll run the approach checklist. Minimums are set both sides to 14. Engine mode select normal, electronic flight bag is stowed, and we've completed our arrival briefing. That's nice to see. I've just put the landing system on and we have got a working ILS, complete with correct ILS identifier, so that's nice. We can do the ILS approach, which is a good job actually, as I've just cleared all the waypoints out for the RNP approach. Should probably have waited to verify that until doing that, shouldn't I? Never mind. Oh, are we going through some ice? Okay. Didn't think that was going to be required. And there's our airport, just over there. Is that the one? No, that can't be it. QNH is a good question, HD. Then you can set this. I'm descending down to flight level 060. The transition altitude is 6,000 feet. So I was actually going to change that when I go down to my next level, which is 4,000 feet. Does it need to be set when descending to the transition altitude? If it's going to keep you happy, I will do it. Oh, good lord, what have we got there? QFE. And 10,000 feet, we need to start rolling that speed back. Profile's looking good anyway. Oh yeah, Fair dues HD. 6,000 is also an altitude on my chart. Alright. Oh, actually, we've got 63 miles to run, so even if we were at 20,000 feet, we'd be absolutely fine. We can probably slow that rate of descent, so we're at speed 700 feet per minute. And we actually do have a speed restriction at Octom, but that's not going to take us very long to slow down until. So Rome Airport is just there. So a little bit too far away. We're not picking up any glide slope at the moment. To be fair, we probably wouldn't be, because we're almost abeam the airport, so that's fine. But yeah, at this point, if air traffic control was online, they'd pretty much probably be starting to vector us in at this point. I'm just going to look outside, basically see what traffic we've got. I can see one aircraft arriving just there.
Imaging that traffic, given 6175, right dates when they want to go.
Rome traffic Easy34 Alpha Mike is flight level 070, 7 miles from Octom. The cones just come back in. There you can see the glide slope. Funnily enough, Christian, I had pizza for tea tonight.
Cabin crew, about 15 minutes to landing. If you can prepare the cabin, thank you.
Taking the first stop, please. Cabin 131.
So guys, just whilst we're in this final phase of descent, if you haven't done so already, if you could be so kind as to hit the like button on the stream for me, that would be most appreciated. If you would be so kind, helps us with our ratings. So we can just see that glide slope starting to move up now. And we'll roll our speed back to 220 knots at Asalu.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take in. The toilets are no longer in service.
Alt star. Right, I need to know where that other traffic is because I just missed that. Rome traffic, just confirm the aircraft on final and distance to touchdown. Yeah, Rome traffic, if you could just confirm your distance to the threshold on landing for me. Runway 16 left.
15 miles.
15 miles. 15 miles, thank you. Okay, so we'll start to slow down and start configuring for our landing. So just keeping a visual lookout as well with no air traffic control. I think there's a couple of aircraft. One was 15 miles out. He's probably hidden behind this this pillar. I just obviously don't want to intercept. I don't want to intercept him. I'm not a fighter jet. Okay, so left turn coming up, and we can start that descent now down to 4,000 feet, thrust idle and open descent. Strangely enough, the aircraft apparently is now targeting Urbez. That's not where I want it to go to. It should be going to Eczema. I can't see any lights outside. And I've not actually got VATSPI running. For some reason my VATSPI wasn't working today. But Nick, if you tell me that I should be okay to turn, that's good enough for me. Speed alt stars, we come to 4,000 feet. That should be fine. We know there's terrain below us at I think a maximum of 2,000 feet. You can see that now flagging up on the terrain radar beneath us. And there we go, alt 4,000 feet. We'll reduce that speed to 200 knots in a moment. However, let's just turn the brightness on the terrain down. Yeah, HD still seems to be heading direct to Eczema. Don't know what's happening there. Not displaying the correct information, but doing the correct thing, so I'll take that. Actually, I think I can see that aircraft now that was on final coming in. So we're 20 miles away.
Mid-Zealand traffic, unit 6175, 5 mile final, runway 16 left.
Rome traffic, easy 34 Alpha Mike is on the base turn, 20 mile final, runway 16 left. Okay, so with that we can probably go now and turn to intercept. So we're in heading mode. A little shortcut.
Sound like a robot, mate.
Bit random.
Not made up.
And we can turn on the landing system's already turned on. Lock blue.
Unit 6175, short final, 16 left.
And And those speed restrictions then regarding our arrival, we need to keep up 160 knots until 4 miles, so that's fine. However, with no air traffic controllers around tonight, how many people read the full charts to understand all of that? And just bringing that round to help our intercept. Glide slopes coming alive as well. And we should start seeing that localizer moving across any moment. There we go, lock star, glide slopes alive, so let's pop the approach on as well. Glide slope blue, and Cat 3 dual enabled. 14 miles out. Rome traffic Easy34 Alpha Mike is establishing runway 16 left, 14 miles. Mr. Jericho, no mods regarding lights or anything like that. Apparently there was some traffic there, but didn't understand a word of what he said. Glide slope capture and lock is captured. So let's start configuring flaps 1. And all the approach looks pretty good now. All we've got to do is worry about that nice long taxi at the end of it once we've touched down. So that's runway 16 left vacated. We should be next in line. So Jonathan, this is the fly-by-wire experimental version. Radio altimeter is alive. And we need to start slowing down. Now it looks like we're a little bit fast at the minute regarding that. Oh, I know why. Shall we enter manage mode? That's okay actually. They kind of want a high speed approach. 160 knots till 4 miles, so that's fine. Okay, flaps 2. Oh, flipping it, my fault. We're not below 200 knots. Let's get that landing gear down. Just checking we'd entered the approach phase. I thought we had, and we had, but I'd left it at 220 knots instead of putting it in manage mode. My bad. Right, now we're passing 200 knots. Let's get flaps 2. There ain't a rule enough big enough for that, is there, HD? Rookie mistake.
$1,000.
1,000 feet. Spoilers are armed. Lights on. Flaps 3. And flaps full. Just clear that. Cabin secured for landing. Auto thrust. Speed. Go around altitude is 2,000 feet. Set. ECAM memo landing. No blue. Autopilot off. I have control. $500 feet. Approach is now stable. don't think it was a few moments ago.
400.
And slight headwind, no problems with that.
300.
Let's get that centre line back.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
Oh, way off centre line. Oh, and that's rolling around a little bit as well. Oh, that's got to be one of the worst landings we've done in a while. After the approach was planned rather nicely as well, I thought. That's a letdown. I'll let HD fill in the paperwork for that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet...
Roam traffic, runway 16 left vacated.
Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Okay, let me just get these ground charts up. So we're on taxiway Delta just now. Yeah, that's fine. Taxiway Delta all the way to the end. HD, was there a check at 50 feet or so? I don't think I did one. We most certainly were not aligned with the centre line. So Dan, yeah, the cabin crew is a mod that is from self-loading cargo. Pavilions 3 P3D, well, you can slow down during the glide slope, extending the flaps. Does a great job of slowing you down, as does the landing gear. So this taxiway rolls all the way to the end. Continue this. Funnily enough, that kind of approach, obviously, it's in no way relevant to the real world. But there was an American Airlines flight, wasn't there? I forget which one it was. I want to say it was going into Little Rock. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Might have to do a quick Google and history check on this. But they were in really, really bad weather. But they decided they needed to continue regardless of what the approach was like, and sadly it ended in disaster. Pavilions, you can if you wished. I didn't do it, but you can deploy spoilers. Obviously, if you're flaps 3, you can't deploy spoilers because the aircraft won't allow you to deploy spoilers when you're in flaps 3, so you obviously can't slow down any further than that. But if you've got flaps 3 speed and you're okay with that, then you probably don't need to slow down. Right, so this is taxiway Delta, of which I don't believe this isn't a handcrafted airport, so the signs, we may end up just parking anywhere and running over several civilians in the process, like this bus that's just there. Goodbye, bus. Little Rock, is that the one, HC? Thank you. Always a good example of what not to do. Yeah. Oh, sorry, is it flaps full you can't put them? I knew it was either flaps full or fully flaps 3 or fully config you couldn't put them out. Okay, so if we taxi all the way along here, we should reach taxiway hotel. Just keep going straight. There's the control tower. We need to taxi past the control tower. Leonard, I love that little emoji. Is that the marshaller? Okay, so this looks like it'll be, let's have a check. There's lots of sort of left-hand turns here, but we're carrying straight on at the moment. Is that taxiway November Golf just there? Let's get that APU started as well, shall we? Jonathan, right, so the ILS, you mean the localizer diamond at the bottom, was to the right instead of the left. Yeah, well, that's because the way that it was all programmed in, the way they picked it up, I'd passed the airfield at that point, so it knew that the way I would be coming in, I was to the left of the, I was to the right of the airfield. So as you turn around the left, that then becomes the, that then becomes the right-hand side. It was on the right, and you were intercepting it from the left. My word, this is a long taxi. Are we still on Delta? Right, is this taxiway... Where's this? That's Delta, and apparently that's Popper. That all depends, of course, if they're marked correctly, which actually I think that is. So this is Delta, which then bears around to the right and becomes Hotel. And so this is Hotel. That first taxiway is Romeo, which I believe we then take. Is that right? This is where we're going to lose all our lights. Right, so that's Romeo. This is then Mike. Yeah, that's right, with the control tower in front of us. So here's Mike, which then turns into Sierra just before we run over a little bit of grass, depending on how well it's coded in. Right, here we go. So this is Sierra. And then I'll just take one of these HD instead of the 700s. You said they were for the large versions, didn't you? Pavlin P3D, you have to change the speed as you're going down the glide slope. Particularly in the A320s, you're putting further flaps out, you're slowing down. Also, for airports such as where we've just landed, you had to maintain 160 knots till 4 miles DME. You don't want to be landing at 160 knots, so you're going to have to slow down. Right, I'm going to park anywhere I like, which is fine. All well and good in the dark. Oh, we've got no taxi lines either. That's a shame. We'll get somewhere between these two jetways. There's no custom airport, is there, for Rome? Oh, there we go. We're close enough. And we've got a external power shown, which means we're close enough to be able to actually get close enough to be able to actually get the external ground power and presumably the jetway as well. Okay, so APU is running. We can now shut down engine 1. We can shut down engine 2. Taxi lights can come off. Seatbelt signs can also come off. Oh, hang on, we're going to get the logbook in a moment. There we go. Logbook sorted. And seatbelt signs are off. N1 below 10%.
Easyjet is going offline. Thank you, gentlemen, for your trip. Have a great night.
Ah, that's Jimmy. Easy 34 Alpha Mike is at the gate and shutting down. Thanks for flying, guys. Okay, so let's see if we can call a jetway as well, shall we? And a few ground vehicles, if these will work. In fact, external power can also get connected now. There we go. External power's connected. In fact, does that work? Do we even have an external GPU knocking about? No, we don't. It's a phantom GPU vehicle. Will this call the jetway? There we go. Jetway's coming. Great stuff. Doors are open. Catering truck. Do we have any catering? Do we have any baggage? Let's find out. Oh, there is a catering truck. There is baggage. They may come and delight us now as we offload our passengers. Oh, there we are. I think they're actually moving. We've got lights on. Beautiful stuff. Right, HD, let me get a beer first. Oh, I think we could all. I think we could all agree we've done far better approaches than that in much more difficult circumstances as well. And I think HD, you and I have spoke about that before. When things are easy, you switch off. When things are difficult, they usually tend to be the best ones. Either way, I believe our passengers are on our way out and deboarding. So thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for Friday night entertainment. Great to see all of you here on board. Thank you for flying with me. Big thanks to all the subscribers, and of course those of you that have donated to the channel via the super chats, Streamlabs donations, and super stickers. And of course, as always, a big thank you to our Easyjetsimpilot channel members. I look forward to seeing you for the next flight, and yeah, we might preview the Navigraph charts on the EFB for the next flight and have a little look at how that's going to work. So we'll see you all again very soon. Thank you for flying. Night night.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, I hope you have enjoyed your flight with us today here on Easyjet. On behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, we will wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport, and we hope to see you again very soon. In order to increase the comfort of your next flight, please take a look at joining the Easyjet Sim